on a quiet night in a loud and decaying city, filled with cries and anguish from its sorrowful patrons, scattered like children searching for some place safe to call home. Amidst this sea of horror we now call commonplace, there stands a tall building, with broken windows and tattered walls, not unlike any other. And upon this establishment's flat, decrepit rooftop, two gentlemen, one younger, one older, one awake, one asleep, one standing, one in a chair, one holding a gun, and one without a care. Within moments, these two gentlemen will hold conference. Tonight's order of business: murder. The man asleep in the chair awakens, as if from a hangover. He is the older gentleman. The other one's the younger. Fuck. My pills. Where did they... no matter. Say, lad, did you really have to knock me over the head? Couldn't you have used a chokehold or smothered me with some kind of knockout toxin? I could have a concussion, you know. All the better. Then I won't have to shoot you. Oh, dear. So that is a gun in your hand. It's awful dark. Why not step into the light? It's quite lovely on the edge of this roof. Plenty of illumination bouncing off the walls here. That was a joke, lad. Have a sense of humor. As you wish. Knock, knock. Oh, honestly, really? Fucking knock, knock! Knock, knock. I'm not biting. And what the hell is with this whole charade about anyway, huh? The younger gentleman pulls back the hammer of the gun. Knock, knock. Well, that sounded like a real gun. Okay, for posterity's sake, I'll play along. Who is there? Her son. Whose son? The son of the woman you murdered. Shit, you're a madman. Look here, lad, I've never murdered anyone in my life. You've made a gross error, so those are some cliché denials coming from someone like you. Think of something more original. Sometimes the clichés will do in a tense situation, especially when they're true. When true, you are false. God damn, you're a stiff one. Listen, I've known a number of mothers in my lifetime, more than I care to say. Give me details. Who was this darling mother that I allegedly murdered? Yes, murdered. Who was she? She was last seen here in this building and pronounced dead 10 years ago. 10 years and 5 days ago, to be precise. You murdered her 10 years and 10 days ago. What? I killed her 5 days before she was pronounced dead. Did I hear that correctly? Or am I joining your brain frequency the longer we talk? You heard correctly. Ooh. Oh, lovely. Just lovely. Well, I know there's no point in talking reason with you. So get on with it. Doing the bad man who you think murdered your dear mother. Come on, then. I'm tired and I have no desire in talking with you further. The younger gentleman points the gun. The older gentleman braces himself. The younger gentleman walks towards the older. They meet, eye to visible eye. You're a strong-looking fellow. What's wrong? Now that we're face to face, you've come to realize that I'm not the man you think I am. You are my mother's killer. However, I am no killer. It's hard to pull the trigger, even on someone like you. That's good, lad. It should be hard to kill a person. Well, I hope you don't mind, though, if I take advantage of this little moment of conscience you're having and try to clear my name. Be my guest. Thank you. First off, I've never been inside this building all my life. Until now, that is, and even so, I'm outside. Anyway, don't you find it odd that I have remained perfectly calm? That's because I could tell from the beginning that you are no killer. For one, there's a complete and utter lack of restraints on my person. Also, the fact that you set up such a dramatic fashion to end my life, well, it suggests you want to talk more than murder. You want me to repent? Confess? Or listen to you whine and curse? Bottom line, you want a conversation. Well, here's some advice. Go home. You put on a decent show, but I've seen better. Your bluff's been called. Now, I don't know you, and you don't know, and, well, I'm not who you think I am. So there's no need to report this entire incident. In this town, pranks and hollow threats come and go. This one doesn't mean shit to me. Or to anyone else in this filthy town, for that matter. The younger gentleman lowers the gun. I'm sorry your mother is dead, lad. But I'm an innocent man. The younger gentleman aims and pulls the trigger. Fuck! Damn, the safety was still on. There. Next time you claim innocence, I'll put a bullet in you. You stupid fucking punk! What the fuck do you take me for, huh? Besides, what do you think I am? I'm a doctor! A psychiatrist! A bloody good one at that! I help people, you asshole! I don't kill them! One more lie and I will fire. And if I miss a vital organ, doctor, I will keep shooting until you die. All right, lad. No more lies. You have my word. Yes, I have been in this building once before. I was dropping off a client's personal effects. And yes, there was a woman. And yes, we spoke, briefly. And yes, I do recall that sometime later, 5 days by your account, that the woman had died by way of suicide. Jumped off this very rooftop. Tragic. A little conversation does not make one a murderer. Well, it depends on the conversation. Doctor, do you recollect what you said to my mother? I do. I heard it all. I was deathly sick and could barely move, let alone speak. But I was awake, aware, and listening. I heard every sneaky, disgusting, surgically cruel word you inflicted onto her. Surgically cruel? Look, I knew the woman needed help and just gave her my honest and professional opinion. I even offered my help, or don't you remember that? I'm afraid, lad, that you're suffering from a kind of dissociative disorder. You can't be more than 20 by my estimate, which means you suffered a traumatic incident at a very young age. And on top of that, you, as you said, were deathly sick, probably delirious. You want to believe your mind was sharp then, but it couldn't have been. I remember the sickness that was going around then. Not a lot recovered from it without medical attention. And you were poor. I take it you were covered by the luck of life. Good for you. Bang! The older gentleman is shot and he falls to the ground, shouting in pain. Ah! Fuck me! What the fuck, lad? I'm not lying! Why'd you... You are lying! Dancing around the topic with facts to cover your true ugly core is the same as lying. Someone would have heard that gunshot. It's possible. But as you said, this town is a filthy one. Gunshots are not uncommon, even on rooftops. For your sake, you'd better hope that no one shows up. Because the moment I hear footsteps traipse up from behind me, I'll make sure they find you stuffed with lead. Thank God for filth. Indeed. I didn't hit anything vital, did I? I'm an excellent shot at the range, but the night is dark and I'm not exactly a killer. Are you good to continue? No. And by no, I mean you didn't hit anything important. Just grazed my left arm is all. No more than a scratch. I'm more in pain from falling off the bloody chair. Get back on it, so we may continue. I want to tell you a story, since I seem to be unable to fucking end you now. Guess I need more time. Sure, lad, sure. Whatever you say. I'll listen. It's what I do. Just give me a moment. I'm not stalling. I've got a mild heart condition, and I can't seem to find my pills. You wouldn't happen to be holding them hostage, eh? No. They must have fallen out of your pocket sometime while I was carrying you. Well, it's not fatal, so no big deal. My heart's just a tad fidgety at points. Okay. Okay, lad. You are going to regale a tale. Be my guest. I am the offspring of an assault. My mother wanted a child, but not that way, of course. The perpetrator was later found dead from an overdose of sorts. He was a co-worker of my mother's. She raised me, all on her own. She had many weaknesses, but she shared them openly with me, to keep herself strong for us both. Imagine the pain and horror of being a single mother with a labyrinth of insecurities and a rape victim on top of it all, and knowing the only person she could trust was her son, the result of her tragedy. I can't imagine it. I won't even say I understand. Go on. Thank you, Doctor. For me, my mother was one of the two strongest people I've ever come to know. Daily, nay, hourly, she would doubt herself and curse herself. Regardless, she kept us fed and alive, and quite happy, in spite of our social standing and her self-hate. She was a good person from what little I gathered from our talk. You said your mother was one of two strong individuals you have come to know. Who, may I ask, is or was the other person? I am the other. My mother raised me to be her equal, and she succeeded. She taught me how to fight, how to sense fear, deceit, insecurities, as well as kindness, love, understanding, and conviction. The good qualities she felt she lacked, she taught them to me. And I must say, I've gotten along very well in my life because of her daily exposures to those teachings. My mother wasn't perfect. There would be times where she would lose her temper, throw things, say things. But because I knew her purpose, her promise, that she wanted a son who could tell the difference between lies and truth, because I could feel and know on a conscious level of her heart's true intent, I never hated her. I only loved her. She never laid a hand on me or truly hurt me. Not once. She always hurt herself most of all. And you took advantage of that self-loathing, while her son, her only friend in the whole world, was deathly sick. You said yourself that you're a damn good psychiatrist, so you should be adequately versed in human psychology and human darkness. You say I couldn't have understood what transpired between you and my mother, but you're wrong. By fact, there are certain situations, sometimes dire situations, where one gains a level of clarity, where everything flows in and out so fluidly that it's almost surreal. But it was not just some lucid state of mind I was experiencing, but real, true, and valid perceptions. I can recollect every word and every insidious undertone you spoke to my mother. I can recite your conversation to verbatim. Care to hear a few snippets of dialogue? You're the one with the gun. My mother asked you, with profound sadness in her voice, why she had a son. You said she was admirable, and despite her obvious flaws, one being that she was endangering her son by living in less than suitable climates, she was still courageous. In a way. Courageous in a way, you said. And you continued. Said she should stay alive as long as she can, for herself and her son's sake. You then suggested that suicide and giving up would be the coward's way out, and if she needed help, she could see you. You are a professional, after all. Your account doesn't paint me in a murderous light. No, not when I tell it. But the way you said flaws, endangering her son, suicide, coward, each of those words were spoken to my mother in such a carefully crafted and forceful way that it can only be interpreted as bullets to her already suffering mind. That's just your opinion. It's more than that, and we both know it. The younger gentleman tries to shoot, but struggles. Unfortunately, I fucking lack a killer's cold blood to carry out my goddamn conviction. I'm a smart man, but the smartest of us falter when committing acts out of our element. I should have asked for help, planned better, or whatever. Oh fucking well. Here we are. Mistakes, worthless hindsight and all. You are a very calm and seemingly innocent person, Doctor. I've honestly thought of letting the whole night end with us both alive and going our separate ways. Until you started talking. Then I remember why I brought you here. The younger gentleman struggles to shoot. Again. Fuck! You think killing your mother's murderer would be easier? Bloody trigger. But you're no killer, lad. You should stop and go home. I wish I could. I want to. I don't want to kill you, even though you deserve it. If not for this one nagging understanding that boils my soul with each and every thought that passes my mind of letting you live. What nagging would that be, lad? You must die. It plays over and over in my soul, reaches my heart, and radiates in my mind every time I think you should live. You must die, is all it says with undying, undiluted clarity. You must die. I see. You're correct, lad, in an overall sense. We all must die sometime. So that may be one reason you believe it to be an absolute truth, because, as I said, in a sense it is. We all must die sometime. It is just the natural way of things. But when is the true question, and no one knows the answer to that. No, lad, for the millionth time, you are no killer. You are a good person. Your mother was too. I'm sorry she's gone. You have all the power, though. I'm not going to tell you whether I should live or not. You need to decide for yourself. I'll say no more. I'll let you live. Good lad. And on one condition. Of course. Name it. You answer this question truthfully. Did you intend to help my mother, or did you intend to end her life through deceit and words? Answer, Doctor. Your life is on the line. I never meant your mother any harm whatsoever, lad. That's a promise from my very core. The moment I fire a shot into the air, you'll have exactly 5 minutes left to live. What? Now, the countdown to your death may be a tad inaccurate. I am counting in my head, so please forgive any time discrepancies. You might want to confess and repent, but I'm no pastor, so it will do you little good. Lad, you're very emotional, very young, and bang! 5 minutes, by my count. The older gentleman gets up. The young gentleman grazes the older one's shoulder with another shot. Die! You truly are a fucking lunatic! I told you honest truth, boy! I meant your mother absolutely no harm! I know what you say. My mind is muddled. But my heart remains unconvinced. And you must die still rings its toll. I do not wish to kill you. The countdown was for my sake, not yours. Please, lad. You must stop. You really are a good boy. You just called me a lunatic. Yeah, well, one tends to curse the people who shoot them. It's a natural response. That doesn't change the fact that you're a good, complex boy with mountains of tragedy as his backdrop. I don't want to die. And you don't want to be a killer. So please, I beg you. Not for me, but for your sake, lad. Stop the countdown. I beg you. All you say is true, Doctor. But you must die. The countdown continues. Please, try and convince me otherwise. I beg you. What can I do? I told you the truth! No, you've been lying with truths. That's not the same. We've been over this. Just put down the gun and let me go. Please! "4 minutes. Look here, lad. If you go through with this, you'll be taking away the only hope of recovery my patients will ever have. And you, a good person, will be sent to jail for murder. Who wins by you killing me? No one! No one! Everyone loses! Please, stop! Stop! Think about what your mother wanted for you. You must die. No, 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 no! The older gentleman settles down and stands up slowly. The younger gentleman just watches. I'm going to very slowly and calmly walk right past you and out of here. Try it, please. Let's see if that works. The older gentleman walks, just as he said, calmly and slowly. They're closer. Their eyes are locked. Stop! The older gentleman stops. If you take one more step, I will shoot you dead. Real fear flows into the older gentleman, for the first time of the night. Now that we're closer, you can see, can't you? I will kill you without hesitation if you take one more step closer. Yes, I see it. The older gentleman takes 2 steps back. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I guess this is it for me then. Fuck! I know that look all too well. All too well. Because you are a killer. Yes, I am a killer. I know. That's why you must die. I must die! Fuck you! Yes, I was lying, but because I didn't want to rattle your mind and get shot! But since I know now, beyond any doubt, that I'm going to fucking die tonight, I want you to know exactly why you deserve to die, and why she deserved to die. Please, explain, Doctor. You may have become a functioning member of society, despite your background, which is admirable, yes. But in the end, you, like the filth bread you are, you still choose violence as your means of justice. You're gutter rot. Just like your mother. Just like so many others. Your kind only sucks away the life from us, the ones who make something of ourselves. You're the kind of people who crave help from the problems you cause. And when things get bad and dire, you want us to pity you, to fight for you, to give to you, to start causes in your name, to write laws for your right to live. But you have no right to live. Only the strong, the intelligent, and the diligent deserve to live. It's called natural selection. By trying to help the part of the herd that must be culled, we'll all needlessly and pointlessly die out. I've been killing people like you since the moment I could manipulate my first victim. An elderly man. He was a veteran, but a blight on his family's finances, and a terrible human being. Always yelling at his children, abusing their love. I did him in with little effort. Felt pretty damn good about myself afterward. So you're a vigilante, are you? What crimes did my mother commit? I just listed a fuckload of reasons, but you want to know what sealed the deal? Fine! She was weak. I hate weakness! Weak people create weak cultures, and cultures cultivate long-term suffering or long-term salvation, depending on its people. Your mother was weak, and she was strong. She had a strong boy who survived a sickness with no medicine. Your diagnosis of my mother's crime is false. Try again, doctor. Poor boy, delusional till the end. If she was strong, she wouldn't have killed herself. I was testing her. Yes, I saw her strength, but I also saw her weakness. Had she survived, she would have lived up to her promises, but she failed. I know weakness better than any trait. Because it is you. No, because... 2 minutes. Sorry, go on. Fuck you! Your kind has always done this to me. Ever since I was a goddamn kid, and well into my adulthood. You fucked with me, just because I could form a coherent sentence. Because I was smart. You fucking beat me. You taunted me. You even did countdowns, just like now. Not because you were strong, because you were weak. You're jealous. You stupid fucking... You're panicking, Doctor, and rambling. You know I am no bully, nor am I weak. I'm sorry for what others have done to you, but you're mixing those incidents with tonight's. There is one glaring difference between them and me. I don't hate you. I never insulted you, nor uttered any lies to you. Because, as another human being, I respect you. Now, unless you are putting on a great big lie, this is by far the most convincing you've ever been this entire night. Which means, everything I've surmised about you was true. You're a horribly weak and ugly person, who enact revenge on people who remind you of your own weakness. Whether you deserve it or not, it doesn't matter. You smell weakness, you crave death. It's a common insecurity trait, but not a common tool for murder. That makes you very smart, and clever, and unique. Not bad for an amateur prognosis on my part, wouldn't you say? Not bad at all, lad. Perhaps some of the people you killed did deserve to die. But my mother was not, and never will be one of them. You must die. 1 minute. Not just some of them, a lot of them. But not all of them. Some didn't sit as well within the old gut as the rest. That includes your mother. I know it doesn't mean shit now, but when I heard she died, for the first time I felt like I was evil. Truly wicked. Alas, like all good survivors, we live on with our demons, hand in hand. Very soon you'll get to spend eternity with your demons. Yes, that's true. I wonder what they're like, what they'll say. You know, lad, all my life, I've been punished. By family, by friends, and strangers alike, for doing the right thing. The right thing. The gut-wrenching murders notwithstanding. When I said I wanted to be a doctor for the first time, my parents laughed at me. When my friends wanted to go drinking, and I said I want to talk with poor people instead, they mocked me. Just yesterday, I helped a boy find his dog. The father yelled at us both and said the dog was a menace. I've never been punished for doing the wrong thing. This will be my first time. I say this from my heart, take it or leave it, but thank you. Thank you for correctly hating me. Thank you for blaming me for something I actually did wrong. I must say, your mother raised you with sharp instincts and convictions. She did live up to her promises, even if she couldn't survive herself. I said I don't hate you, but I understand what you're saying. 30 seconds. Thank you, lad. I'm ready. But I won't go without a fight. Ah! The older gentleman lunges at the younger gentleman. The younger fires, hits, and grazes the older gentleman's stomach, but the adrenaline is too much. They tussle and fall. The gun is dropped. The older gentleman leaps for it. The younger gets to it first. The older is spry. He tackles the younger, forces them both to the edge of the roof. Fall! The younger gentleman falls off the roof, but is caught by the older gentleman. Young gentleman hangs. Older gentleman holds him, hand in hand. No! Ah! You stupid fucking idiot! Why didn't you shoot me dead? I guess I really am no killer. Just hang on, lad. I'll pull you up. You can't die. You're the good one. You can't die. I'm gonna save you. You can't, Doctor. Just shut the fuck up and give me your other hand. I'll pull you up. If you insist. The younger gentleman reaches out and they lock hands. You can't, Doctor. Not because you're not strong enough physically, but because you're weak. And I want to see my mother. The younger gentleman shakes himself loose and falls to his death. No! You fucking fool! Why him? He was... Why not me? Right. I'm weak. And he wants to see his... I'm sorry, lad. I'm so sorry. Oh, fuck, what good does that do now? You're dead. She's dead. And I'm still... You didn't deserve... You... Lad, could you please tell her I'm... Never mind. Just be with her. I hope you are with her. Ah! Oh, my heart! Bloody thing feels tight and hot. I've never felt that before. Oh, I think it just might kill me. You must die. Right-ho. Right-ho. Two gentlemen. One older, one younger. One a killer, one not so. Both dead. One by his own volition, and one from heart failure. On this quiet night, in a decaying city, amidst this sea of horror we now call commonplace.